Good morning. Welcome to Newspapers Today on this beautiful Monday morning. My name is Oluchi Amuda. I'm starting today's review with The Punch. The Punch is leading with this story. States paying governors jumbo pensions owe 3 trillion naira debt. That is the story making the banner headlines on the front page of the Punch newspaper, and it comes with the rider TUC wants governors to pay workers arrears, experts flay jumbo packages. Still on the front page of the Punch, we have this story about the masthead. 86 senators will support me, says Akpabio. Operators demand tough sanctions as Nigeria loses 313 billion naira to oil thieves. Why I rejected request to visit Tinubu, but the judge. Nigeria imports 2.7 trillion naira sugar as government's master plan stalls. Buhari's failure to rescue Leah Sharibu disappointing parents. Prisoners feeding states fault FG seek new revenue formula. Sheun Kuti, musician, may report to police today. Appoints Falana. Death shakes Nollywood as 3 actors, technicians die in 1 week. These stories are on the front page of the Punch newspaper this Monday morning. Next is the Daily Sun. Obasanjo blames Nigerians' woes on poor leadership. 3 things incoming president must do. Catholic priest. Church will continue to be beacon of hope. Adeboye. And below the picture story of Daily Sun, banks, companies, shareholders groan under excessive AMCON charges. These stories are on the front page of the Daily Sun. And up next is The Nation. And The Nation newspaper is leading with this. Tinubu is best prepared ever for president, says Akande. That is the story making the banner headlines on the front page of The Nation newspaper. Expect 50-year master plan from incoming administration. What to do on economy. Still on the front page of The Nation newspaper, Olubadan or your ruling houses disagree over Makinde reform. Senators, reps for inauguration in makeshift chambers. 30 billion naira renovation ongoing. NEC buys discos from billing disconnected customers. Nollywood actor Murphy Afolabi passes on. Below the picture story, rising food prices, cash crunch push inflation to 17-year high. 69 senators have signed on for Akpabio, Barrow says. Ndume. These stories are on the front page of The Nation newspaper. Let's have a look at what the Pilot has for us this Monday morning. And the Pilot newspaper is leading with this story. Herdsmen attack. Mass burial for 38. That is the story making the banner headlines on the front page of the Pilot newspaper. Herdsmen attacks. Mass burial for 38 people allegedly massacred by suspected herdsmen giving mass burial. Deputy Governor condemns in strong terms wanton killings in Nasarawa. Expressed shock over latest killing, says government will take action. Assures that government will provide relief materials for displaced persons. Still on the front page of Nigerian Pilot, FG fixes December 31 as deadline for feeding of prison inmates. All right, we have other stories as well. CBN expresses commitment to forex expansion. Security operatives blow up boats carrying 600 barrels of stolen crude oil. These are some of the stories that made it to the front page of the Nigerian Pilot. Daily Trust is next. And the Daily Trust is leading with this story. Basket of tomato costs 70,000 naira in South. That is the story making the banner headlines on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper this Monday morning. Prices triples in Lagos, FCT, Kano, Rivers, Enugu, others. Housewives resort to paste dried varieties. Farmers blame pest attacks, production costs. That is the story making the banner headlines on the front page of the Daily Trust. Still there, we have this APC's zoning threat to National Assembly's independence, aggrieved aspirants. We're still on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper this Monday morning, and we have this story. Dangote, Taj Bank, FG lifts NGX corporate bonding listing to 112 billion naira in first quarter. These are the stories, some of the stories that made it to the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper this Monday morning. Moving now to Business Day. And Business Day says, business grown as CAC portal creaks. Business grown as CAC portal creaks. Still on the front page of the Business Day, port business slums as importers await new government. Tap to banks with highest income tax payment. Economic headwinds under Buhari's slow pension growth. These are some of the stories on the front page of the Business Day. The Nigerian Tribune is next. And the Nigerian Tribune is leading with this story. NESG, LCCI, CITN sets economic agenda for Tinubu. That is the story making the banner headlines on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. And it comes with the riders, advocates shared prosperity, and called on sustained targeted interventions, accountability. Still on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune, assault on police officer Shehu Kuti to report at police command today. Falano. 69 senators-elect now backing Akpabio Barao. Stability Group says boasts more will join. Confusion as South lawmakers reject micro-zoning. Police arrest 4 bank workers for allegedly killing debtor's wife in Ogun. Traders count losses as fire gods at many markets. Sudan crisis, FG evacuates 2,518 Nigerians, ends exercise in 15th batch. These are some of the stories on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. And below, above the masthead, we have this, whose loyalist broker peace with Olabode Judge. Olubadan council backs Makinde's chieftaincy reform in Oyo. Aviation unions set to embark on total strike. These stories are on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. And next is the Leadership. And the Leadership newspaper has this story as its banner headlines. National Assembly leadership, anxiety heightens as APC governors meet today. That is the story making the banner headlines on the front page of the Leadership newspaper this Monday morning. We have other stories. 14 days to go. Tinubu will rescue Nigeria with proper planning. BC Akande. Man kills mother over failure to give him 10,000 naira. $800 million loan. Syria plans legal action against World Bank. Nigerian young girl set to break world record. That's talking about Hilda Bashi. These stories are on the front page of the Leadership newspaper. And next is the Daily Asset. And the Daily Asset has this story. 10th Rep Speakership. J7 adopts consensus option, favors Betara. That is the story making the banner headlines on the front page of the Daily Asset. Army court marshals general over fraud practices. Immigration dismisses 8 officers, investigates 80 over extortion. These are some of the stories on the front page of the Daily Asset. Let's have a quick look at what the national economy has for us this Monday morning. The national economy is leading with this story. Organized private sector's headache over tax burden continues. That is the story making the banner headlines on the front page of the national economy, and it comes with the writers, economists, industrialists say government's policies in action hurting economy. So on the front page of the national economy, how disaster creates perfect storm for banks, fintech, weighs out of Nigeria's rising 77 trillion naira debt. Experts assessing Nigeria's membership of the ICO. These are some of the stories on the front page of the national economy. Moving now to This Day. And This Day newspaper has this story. Akpabio reaches out to aggrieved senators. That is the story making the banner headlines on the front page of This Day. Akpabio reaches out to aggrieved senators elect, pledges 10th National Assembly will pursue pro-business legislation. Sanwo-Olu backs Akpabio. Jibrin receives senators elect in Lagos, urges inclusion in choice of presiding officers. Still on the front page of This Day, above the masthead, CBN doubles down in fight against spiraling inflation. Outgoing governors commence valedictory session today. NDDC court restraints Onochie from exercising executive power. 10th Assembly, Northern Group threatens to withdraw support for APC Tinubu. These stories are on the front page of This Day newspaper. And The Guardian is next, and it's laden with this story. 17 years after Paris Club relief, external debt rises to $41.8 billion. That is the story making the banner headlines on the front page of The Guardian newspaper. 17 years after Paris Club relief, external debt rises to $41.8 billion. Nigerians' debt burden, what each Nigerian owes. And the report is that each Nigeria owns 368,421 naira. Yes, from the breakdown there, you can see it on the front page of the Guardian newspaper. Each Nigeria is owing 368,421 naira. That is Nigeria's debt burden. Yes, we have other stories as well on the front page of the Guardian. Amid criticisms, Akpabio widens consultations, gets backings of 68 senators. Next is the New Telegraph. Yes, let's go to the New Telegraph now. And it's still leading with the story about the 10th National Assembly. It says Tinubu's loyalists liable for House Senate leadership crisis. Sources. Below the picture story, Bodejo meets President-elect's associate, pledges support. Yes, the blueprint, the last but not the least. And it has this story. Book launch, I embedded journalists to counter Boko Haram propaganda. Buratai, Lagos elders move to reconcile Tinubu, Bodejo. These are the stories we have for us on the front pages of some of the national dailies in Nigeria. Yes, I have my regular guest in the house who will be analyzing some of these stories for us this morning. Dr. Yinka, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
How was your weekend?
Yes, it's beautiful.
All right. The Guardian. Let's start from Nigeria's debt profile. The Guardian newspaper has this story. Please, let's have it. It says 17 years after Paris Club relief, external debt rises to $41.8 billion. And a breakdown there. It says Nigeria's debt burden, what each Nigerian owns. That each Nigeria owned 368,421.
I don't know about you, but I'm not owing anything. But on a more serious note, but that is by implication.
Exactly.
It's not that we're owing that.
Yes, that was the breakdown. That
by
if
implication,
it's awarded or rewarded, given to every Nigerian, if the money is divided among everybody.
If somebody borrows money on my behalf, I should feel it.
Okay.
I cannot feel the impact of these borrowings. And that is the most disheartening part of it. Fine, it's claimed that they borrow money on our behalf, but we should feel the impact. If I have not eaten, you now say you have bought food on credit on my behalf, I cannot even see the food to eat, but you are telling me that I'm owing. Excuse me, owing what? So I think there should be better explanation of that. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not owing. I am not owing because I could not feel the impact. The per capita income is still very low compared to other countries. So they should tell that to the birds.
They should tell that to the birds. All right, talking about telling that to the birds. The Nation newspaper has the story that Tinubu is best prepared ever for president, credited to Chief Bisi Akande. Now, with this huge